You are alive. That's what it said.
Well, it's good to know.
You've
I hope
arrived
so.
in your life. Time to arrive. Good evening. Scano, nice to see everyone. If you're joining us this evening or a later time, it's time to sit with our sisters and anyone that wants to sit with us and share and just be for a little bit. Some time, stop, pause, and breathe. Breathe into ourselves and into this space. And um, my name's Jody. I'm co-founder of this platform, Grandmother's Voice, and I'm here with the sisters who, along the way, we all had the same kind of idea or vision of just coming together on a regular basis to make sure we share with each other and stand with each other and support each other. And it just so happens that we end up coming together on a Sunday. To many people it's prayer day. It's preparing of the new week coming. And we all agreed to do this regularly on a new moon because it's such an important time. And before we get to spending time together, I just want to just do an acknowledgement and just thanksgiving for this sisterhood that we've created on the screen and off the screen, knowing that at any moment we can just reach out and share, whether it's good, bad, or disappointing or exciting or whatever it is, just knowing that we're there. And so acknowledging the creator and everything that's been provided for us. There's never been a time in my life, I don't think, that I've really actually felt like I needed more support. Reflecting now on those times where I may have thought, it was the worst time in my life, I think there's just so much out there in the world that left me, feeling really sad in the last few months and weeks. And there's so much happening in the world, so much loss and pain, and creating these circles to come to connect has just been really important to me. And in knowing that, we remind ourselves when we come here, all of the gifts that are offered to us in the natural world, and how important they are to our wellness. And I don't know that I feel like if I were to go through everything that's in the Thanksgiving address, from the water to the land and the birds and the winds and the thunder beings, I could easily get caught up in how much how present I've made them in my life in the last few weeks. I really needed to have that the natural world close to me, and so I hope that you've wrapped yourself in the beautiful energies and essence that's provided for us through Mother Earth and your relationships with the people around you, because that's so important to remember the people that have loved us or supported us, not supported us, because those are the people that we learn from. And we have to be grateful for all of those interactions and relationships. So yeah, I'm just really grateful for the guidance of our elders and ancestors, and and the sisters being here. Yawa for being here. So I'm kind of feeling chill, like it cozy, kind of tired, but still really full of love and excitement to hear from everyone tonight. And so Jen, if you want to open with a song, I think awesome. I might turn my sound off and sing too.
There you go. Go for it. Ani Bujo, everybody. Ani Bujo Kinawea. My name is Jen. I live in Treaty 13 territory in Mississauga, and I come from Treaty 9 territory, Matagami First Nation, and I have Scottish and French heritage. My spirit name is Nimkikwe, Thunder Woman. And I thought I would start with the song Andayan. Andayan means home in Anishinaabe-Moan. And this song honors the strength of women and Mother Earth. And I think we can remember that sometimes we need to come home to ourselves. And I know that one of our themes tonight, one of the things we're talking about is activating our intuition. And I think sometimes we look outside ourselves for guidance. And I think that if we sit with ourselves and maybe even talk things through with our friends, it will help us find and guide us to, what we really want to get to, right? It'll help us hone into the intuition that sometimes we've been taught to not listen to override with people-pleasing activities and all those other things when we're thinking about other people rather than really empowering ourselves. So I thought I would sing the Andayan song. I'll hand it over to somebody else, whoever wants to jump in next.
Okay, Pamela, you were here after us. Let's pick it up.
Okay. So, you want me to start off with tonight's topic, or do you want me to start with just some hellos, or what do you think?
Yeah, we can introduce ourselves and then
Sure.
do our
Sounds
little...
good. Okay, Seiko. Hello, everyone. I'm Pamela Devonshire. Thank you for being here with us tonight on this special new moon evening. So a little bit about me. I live here in Toronto, Toronto. I'm a proud member of the Mohawk Territory, Tyendinaga. For those of you who don't know, it's Treaty 3.5, and it's the Bay of Quinte, which is out near Picton, kind of close to Kingston, but I live here in Toronto. And I'll just kind of tell you a little bit about me and what I've been working on. So I wrote a book to actually honor my Indigenous ancestor, Chief Desiranton, and his name actually means where the lightning has struck. And a little bit about Captain John, as he was known. He allied with the British during the American Revolutionary War. And of course, the British lost. We all know the history. And the Mohawks had to flee their homeland of the Mohawk Valley and eventually settled in Tyendinaga, the Bay of Quinte. So why I'm mentioning that today is because we just recognized Indigenous Veterans Day, November the 8th. And really, when I think about my ancestor, he was an Indigenous veteran. So I really wanted to mention that today to honor and remember him and to give thanks for what all veterans did for us and our country. And all the world wars. And I know people talk about starting with the War of 1812, but I think we need to go back because there were many wars before where the Mohawks and a lot of our Indigenous allies allied to the British and fought for what is now Canada today. So welcome, everyone. It's great to be here. I'll pass it to, how about Jen? Oh, Jen just went, so I'll pass it to Lisa.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lisa. My Mohawk name is Daili Wahotne, which means she brings the message to us. I'm from Six Nations. I own a healing center called Gasat Stot Salio. I am Mohawk Turtle Clan, and it's nice to be with you tonight. Angela?
Tansei, good night, everybody. My name is Angela de Montenay. I am the Cree Métis Nation. My family is from the Red River Métis settlements in Manitoba. And my spirit name is She Who Walks with Honor. I work with the Black Panther and the White Thunderbird. And happy new moon. One of the things that I think we've, as Jody mentioned, when we first came on, is that it's been, kind of a tricky time in the world, and especially with the new moon, I've felt it quite heavy as far as in the last couple of days, especially yesterday with Remembrance Day, and seeing or feeling that we're at a place where we're supposed to be remembering or not forgetting about the trauma and all the loss from previous world wars, and the family members and ancestors that we had that fought and possibly lost their lives in the war, and that war is raging like crazy in other parts of the world right now. So I've just been doing a lot of prayers and a lot of meditating and sending a lot of light out into the world. So I encourage everyone to do that as well. And on sort of a happier note, I had a really very busy couple of weeks since our full moon ceremony. And, a couple of things that were really evident was, putting intuition for sure, and doing things that you don't normally do, and what can benefit from that. And so just stepping into the unknown, knowing that something amazing is going to happen, even though you have no idea what that is. And myself going into a pitch competition for a first ever Indigenous beauty boot camp with 20 other Indigenous women-owned brands who are, have amazing products and businesses, and then becoming a finalist down to 6, and then, us 6 gathering together, and from all parts of Canada. So a woman from Nunavut, like this happened all very fast. And they flew them in from all over the country, in BC and Montreal and Ganawage and Ottawa. And we all knew each other online. And actually, one of the women I'd done collaborations with on social media, like over the past year and a half, but we never met in person. And what was so beautiful about that was that we all felt and understood that even though we were put in a position where we were to be competing against each other, that we were not there to compete against each other, that we were there as sisters, that we were there to support each other, which we did. It was a really beautiful, wonderful experience. And in the end, we all thought that we were competing for, 3 prizes or 3 grants or out of the 6. But what they did was, and I had to say that in my pitch, I made it clear that Indigenous women collaborate over competition. That's how we do things. And in the end, every one of us received something. So it was so beautiful. Like we were all winners, and it just solidified like how we operate and how we do things. So that was really a wonderful experience, and something that I want to share with everybody is that there is always more than enough for everybody. And when we operate in a very colonized, competitive world, that if we stay true to who we are, that we can really change how things are done. Hi.
Yeah. That was exciting just to watch and know that you were doing it. You added excitement to my day, my week. Not that I needed any more things to pay attention to, but it was, it's always good to watch people rise and be successful. And you were saying, your uncertainty in that whole, arena or whatever, but you're right. I love that. Yeah, Jen, that collaboration over competition. And that's what this is about. We really are in a time that we know, connecting back to our culture through spending time with our elders, and just the work that we do personally, connecting, that we know we're in a really different time.
Yeah.
Our children's voices are being heard. There's a lot of awakening happening. There's a lot of pain out there too. But I came across this poem, and I think I feel like I'm going to read it if you're okay with it. It's Matty Stevanik. I think that's how you say his name. He's a poet. I think he's. Have you heard of him?
No.
No. Okay. Like he's an American poet, I think. I can't remember where I heard this from. Maybe like a YouTube video I was listening to, and I just thought of it today. This was created from like shortly or on the day of 9/11, I think. It's called For Our World. And I just loved, I had this written out. I wrote it out one time because the words were just like so simple. And I loved seeing the words. So it's called For Our World. We need to just stop. Just stop. Stop for a moment before anybody says or does anything that may hurt anyone else. We need to be silent, just silent, silent for a moment, before we forever lose the blessings of songs that grow in our hearts. We need to notice, just notice for a moment, before the future slips away into ashes and dust of humility. Stop, be silent, and notice. In so many ways, we are the same. Our differences are unique treasures. We are a mosaic of gifts to nurture, to offer, to accept. We need to be. Just be. Be for a moment, kind and gentle, innocent and trusting, like children and lambs, never judging or vengeful, like the judging and vengeful. And now let us pray, differently yet together. Before there is no earth, no life, no chance for peace. And yeah. Sometimes, like, I come in here and you and I talk about this, like how in my mind I feel like I come with all of these things I want to talk about, but then I sit here and I go, light my medicine, sit in my space, and I say, no, let's see what we can create together in this like really organic, collaborative circle. So I know, Lisa, you haven't been well the last week, and so I don't expect you to do any kind of meditation for us, because I usually do, because I love you taking us on a journey. But this is another part of transformation that we talk about, our illnesses and our things that we go through, the crisis or whatever, we find that is like stops us in our tracks, and I guess takes us out of our regular day life because we have to rest or get better, is a part of transforming and cleansing, all of these ways. And so you're still beautiful. You look great, even though you've been not well. It's so great to see your smile and see you.
Thanks.
I missed our visit this week.
Me too.
Did you want to share anything?
Yeah, I'll share. So my daughter was in a fashion show again this weekend. Yeah, so I got this like terrible cough that keeps me up at night, so I'm tired and stuff. But anyways, I did end up going and watching her, and that was the second time, because 2 weeks ago was her first time. And I'm just so proud of her, seeing her, step out of her comfort zone and stuff. And she was able to she wore like 3 different outfits for, I think it was 3 different designers. But that was my excitement for the the weekend. I can do a meditation. I don't mind.
Did you want to do that now or in a little bit?
No, maybe we'll do it in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, you pulled a card. Good. Yeah.
So guess what I just pulled?
Tell me.
Black Panther. So this is my cat. And guess what this is about? Embracing the unknown. So, and this is really a great message, clearly it's what I've been thinking about, today. And so it's telling us not to worry about the future. And that's one of those things, right? It's like, even though there may be chaos happening around us, to just stay the course, stay grounded, have faith that, whatever, we need, whatever we're supposed to be doing will show up, right? So we're not supposed to figure it out right at this moment. So we need to confront our fears of the unknown, of being less than we truly are, or just to simply be. Let go of our fears that appear as obstacles or barriers, and embrace the unknown and flow with the mystery that is unfolding, which is our lives. So that's the message for tonight, for the new moon. And I am going to, as far as setting intentions for the next full moon, that this is about really focusing on what it is you want to do in your life. What are your dreams? And actually having the confidence and the courage and the faith to know that it will show up, that you will be able to, like, in its own divine time, these things happen. And I have experienced that, even especially in the last 6 months, or actually, I shouldn't say that, the last 4 years, that even though things may seem like they're challenges and they're delays and things that go wrong, but really, when you're able to look back, you can see that all of those things happened for a purpose and allowed other things to happen. So I actually had this conversation with somebody this afternoon. It's like, we need to have that ability to understand that something, if it is a challenge or something that's difficult, it is a teaching moment. It is a stepping stone to enable us something we need to learn in order to get to the next step or the next place. And it always seems to be that way. So just, know that we're meant to face these things and learn from them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. Thank you for the card. I meant to bring my cards over here, so I might pop out and grab mine too. I left them over there. Did anyone else want to share, Jen?
I was just thinking that, there's a lot of power in looking back to see how far you've come, to see what you've accomplished, because sometimes we worry so much about those obstacles, like you said, Angela, and we have so much fear that sometimes our fears get the best of us. But if we can kind of reflect back on all the things we've already accomplished or overcome, or what has happened, what we kind of maybe 6 months before predicted we were worried about, and then look what happened, right? And I was thinking that sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, that's why I like to follow the rhythms of the earth, right? That's why I like to tune into those moons, because then it gives you something to anchor yourself with. When you tune into the earth cycle, when you're thinking about the new moon, and then even those phases in between the new and the full moon, I find, you can lean your energy into that. And then I find that things align more when I'm thinking, okay, this is a time to rest, or this is a time for me to develop new ideas, or this isn't the best time to develop new ideas, depending on what phase of the moon it is. And I find that really anchoring and centering. And then I was also looking at our friend Asha Frost's book, You Are the Medicine, where she talks about the 13 moons. And so she has, this moon is the little spirit moon coming up. And she says, the moon reminds us that we are all on a healing path. We can choose to cultivate deep wisdom from the struggles and challenges that we may walk through. We can be the healers of our own lives. And this moon calls us to share what we have learned for the good of our communities, our families, and our soul purpose. And so I thought that kind of went along with what you're saying. And yeah, I just find, like I was saying, that following the cycles of Mother Earth or the rhythms of the moon can be really grounding and just kind of refocus ourselves instead of thinking about, there's lots of things that we can align our energy with. And we can align our energy with the Facebook feeds and the Instagram feeds, or we can choose to maybe unplug from that and think about those natural rhythms, even, fall going into winter, and what kind of energy are you bringing into that? And we're in a time where we live in this time where there's never really a shift in energy. Like, nobody stops in the winter, and we kind of do, but if you're a hockey mom or whatever, right, you don't, and your work is still your work, and you often don't think, well, this is a time of storytelling, and this is the time when I need to stay and be cozy, or, connect with my family, or rest. And so, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks. I'm good.
That's a really great point. Just even bringing up that, the parents that are in those cycles of sports, because I know since I've my moon time has stopped, I really needed to really check it, like pay attention to the moons. And so, because, and it's actually been great because, when you align yourself with the actual cycle of the moon, and so that at this point in time, I would be menstruating, right? So it all makes sense, with everything that's happening. And then, thinking about the time that when the full moon is, and and that could be the time of ovulation or creation, and it's just so beautiful when you're in that cycle and understanding it, right? Yeah. Did you want to share something, Pamela? I mean, I you know me, I can always keep sharing.
I did want to share something really fascinating and compelling happened to me this week. So actually made me think of you, Jody, because last year you invited me to talk and we had a conversation about Indigenous Veterans Day. That was a year ago. So I think I've mentioned this in the past. So I'll start off by saying I work for a crown corporation. And that word crown, right? It represents, we have a king and the queen. And so to me, that's significant. I work for a crown corporation. So there's a point to my story of saying crown. So one of our mandates is Northern and Indigenous Affairs and Reconciliation, working for this crown corporation, right? So I'm often tapped on the shoulder to come and speak, right? Because of my ancestry and my Indigenous status. So, I'm asked quite often to will you come and speak about this and that? And so I was tapped on the shoulder and asked to speak to a rather large group about Indigenous Veterans Day, but they asked me for on November the 7th. So it wasn't the actual correct day. They were busy. I was busy, but they were having a team meeting. And there was upwards of 60 people coming. So I was a little bit nervous. It was a big group. And it's people I work with, so I kind of know some of them, but not all of them. So I was thinking about the presentation. So it was this talk I was giving with a little bit of a PowerPoint. And it was coast to coast. And so I don't speak French. So I put a little Mohawk in it, and they translated into French. So I had 3 languages in it. So it was kind of cool. But I didn't want to just focus on history. I talk about my ancestor, and he was one of the, he was an Indigenous veteran from even the 1700s. And, but I was trying to think of relevance and how do I make this meaningful? So because of fall back, I was completely messed up with the time. So I was waking up at, 4 a.m, 5 a.m, and then just going back to sleep. So what I'm going to say is very compelling. So I'll just start off by saying, when your ancestors speak to you, listen. Open your ears, open your hearts, open your minds. When something happens, it happens for a reason. So I have to say that before I get into what really happened. So November the 7th was last Tuesday. I wake up at 5, but I'm wide awake. Like, I am not a morning person. I never, like 7:30, that's a good time to wake up for me. So 5 a.m., I'm wide awake. I'm thinking, what the heck? Why am I awake? I'm so awake. I'm compelled to get up out of bed. This never happens. It was just really weird. So I thought there's something going on here. And then I was completely compelled to turn on the TV. Who puts the TV on at 5:30 in the morning? Not me. I don't watch TV. I have the basic cable. I don't watch much TV. So this is the day I'm about to talk about my ancestor, Captain John Deseronton, and his allegiance to King George III during the American Revolutionary War, right? So I'm setting the stage here. So I put the TV on about just after 5 a.m, and City News is on. And I'm looking, like, what the heck? What am I watching here? It was talking about the unveiling of the Queen Elizabeth statue in Queen's Park. And they were talking, it's a big deal. And they're unveiling the statue when she sat here in Parliament, and it's her likeness. And guess who the honored guest was that they invited to this event? Chief Miracle, our chief from Tyendinaga. So talk about full circle. So our chief was the honored guest invited to come, and he was planning to say words, and it was a big deal. It is a big deal because that's the path to reconciliation. So the fact that he even went, I was kind of surprised. But I thought, you know what? My ancestor woke me up at 5 o'clock. You need to see this. Chief Miracle is going to be there for the statue of Queen Elizabeth being unveiled because it's full circle. It's reconciliation. So Captain John started it with the allegiance to King George III. And then that, I believe, is Queen Elizabeth's ancestor. And then Chief Miracle is coming here to pay his respects. And so I was so compelled. I added that to my talk at the end because, I'm talking about history and all of that. And some people may think, oh, yeah, history. what's the point? Why is that relevant? Well, it's relevant because that was happening in Queen's Park today with our Chief Miracle coming. And I thought, wow, they're honored to have Chief Miracle come, not the other way around. So anyway, I was really, really like blown away that I woke up and put the TV on at that time, because I feel that Captain John was with me and he was compelling me to do that. And he knew I was a little bit nervous about this talk. And he was saying, it's okay. There's something else going on here that you need to tell people about. And so that they'll be aware that this is going on. So I knew he did it. Like, I just knew, because there's no way I would have woken up at 5. There's no way I would have put on the TV and put on that particular news station. So 3 things happened that never should have happened. So the part that the people latched on to at the end was that current news, what was happening. And so as soon as I finished work that day, I went on to see what Chief Miracle had to say. I wanted to see, because he was quoted. And he talked about there's still a lot of work to do, but it's like a step towards reconciliation. But there's a lot of work to do. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, because I think, inspiration can come from different places. And we're talking about inspiration. So I continue to be inspired by my ancestors, so Captain John among them. But, we have to open our hearts and our minds and look for these signs, because they are there. And just to know they are with us. And I think they're really happy with what we're doing. And sometimes they let us know they're not happy, and they kind of correct our path and tell us some ideas of what we could be doing. And he's done that before. I'm not happy with what you're doing. I think you need to adjust and do this, Anyway, so I really wanted to share that, because I found that was really really intriguing and compelling. And it gave me more reassurance and inspiration to keep going, because I knew he was with me. And I think he's pretty happy with the work we're doing as a whole. So yeah, thank you. Nyawa.
Nyawa to you. That's sorry. I was just going to say, Angela, that this is why I started this platform for Grandmother's Voice, because my personal journey, my ancestors, I followed them. I followed those signs. And so it excites me. And I've watched you from the beginning of your journey. I feel like, very, very beginnings of bringing it out into society, to be like, hey, this is my story. And I find it's beautiful. And it's the energy of listening to her tell that story and have such passion and drive and courage to just show up. No matter how uncomfortable it is. That's the world that we're in right now, is being uncomfortable. And, we need to do this together. We need to awaken together and do it with humility and love. And the fact that, your organization is doing that in a good way by, standing you up and supporting you is pretty awesome.
Well, thank you, Jody. And you're right. You were there from the beginning. So thank you for, being there for me. And I'm really happy to be a part of our group here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
It's awesome, Pamela. Well, I also have to say that I had the similar experience when I did my pitch on Thursday, is that I brought the photo of my grandma and my great grandma here with me. And the day before I went for a walk on Six Nations with my friend Carla, and came across a turkey feather. And so I put both of those in my bag and had them with me as I did this pitch. And I actually didn't feel nervous. And I even included that photo of my grandmother's in my pitch slide. And I am talking to all of these corporate people in cosmetics and like international people, big corporate companies, about putting ceremony and spiritual intention and medicines into my candles and mists and products, thinking they're going to think I'm crazy. But they got it. So And that is where I get my information and my inspiration is from my grandmothers. And so I shared that with them, and it was really powerful. So they are so with us, and it's just so comforting to know that they're there behind the scenes, orchestrating a lot of things for us, So thanks for sharing that, Pam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the excitement of watching our people rise and the voices rise, and that's what excites me about our next journey together for Grandmother's Voice, and the work we do with Dennis Windigo and Lisa. Like you, I get so excited, and I feel like that's the new journey that we have. Dennis is an Indigenous healer, and I learned so much from just being with him, and supporting his vision of sharing his knowledge, this like ancient wisdom that he's put into practice, that he's carried through his family's lineage, his father. He said this last week when we interviewed him, or we were doing something, and he said, um, my father was a healer, and he said, and he went down his path, and you know you think you're not paying attention, right? And then when it's your time to heal yourself, because that's what he says, is we are healers of self and helpers of others. And I love that, because it's exactly how you feel. That story, Pamela, that you just shared, and Angela, your little morsels that we share with people to inspire them or share with them the inspiration. People hear that, and so these elders, like the Dennises, that have been doing their practice, being, sharing their knowledge, transferring this knowledge, healing communities, and showing people how to heal themselves through Indigenous ways, like what you just shared, those tiny morsels that put people on the path of healing, which is what is amazing. And what excites me the most is that if we think about international, world renowned, scientists and healers, and people that have been out there from like hundreds of years ago, right? It's time for our Indigenous people that have their knowledge, that have not had the platform yet. It wasn't time for them because of colonization and all of the stuff that we're trying to neutralize or get rid of, really. It's going to be really amazing to see our elders and their voices, and the knowledge keepers, and the people with the wisdom, and their whatever they carry from that Indigenous lens or perspective to share with the world, is just so exciting, and really going to contribute to the healing of the world. And I may not be around for that, but I'm definitely doing the best to leave my mark. Do you want to do our little before you fall asleep, Lisa? Just kidding.
Okay. Yeah, I am about ready to fall asleep.
Give us your best shot.
Okay, so we're just gonna sit with your feet on the floor, and then I'm just gonna get you to close your eyes, and we're just gonna start off with your breathing. So inhale slowly and exhale slowly. I'm gonna do that 3 times. So inhale again and exhale, and inhale again and exhale. Now with intention, I want you to go to your feet, your toes, and I want you to tighten them right up. And then I want you to release and let all the tension go. And then your calves, I want you to tighten them up, and then release and let that tension go. And then same with your thighs, tighten your thighs up, and then release and let that tension go. And then your buttocks, tighten those up, and then release and let that go. And then your your pelvis, like tighten that up and then release. And your stomach muscles, tighten that up and then release. And your chest muscles, tighten that up and then release. And then now go to your hands and then make a fist and really tight and then release and kind of shake that out. And then your neck and your shoulders, kind of like bring your shoulders all the way up and tight and then release. There. Now what I want you to do is I want you to visualize Grandmother Moon. And even if we can't see her, she's still there. She's always there, always shows up. So I want you to ask her to bring her loving energy into the top of your head and filling your whole entire body up. And then what I want you to do is I want you to push that love like to the whole entire world. And then now coming back into your body. So 1, 2, 3, and then you can open your eyes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Just little bits, just little tiny morsels along the way to keep us on the path. Right? That's all we need. We don't need big chunks. We don't need to learn it all right now. We don't need to, right, put a ton on our plate. I started my self-care, like, you know, I don't know if it's a routine. It's not a routine. It's all new now that I'm like older. I put on my old, tried to get into my old exercise clothes. I was like, dang, this isn't going to work. You have to change it all now. Let's be real. No more of those outfits, but no, but seriously, it's real, going, okay, there were some things that I did along the way. I always had my mindfulness, maybe not so much journaling as much as I've done my like meditation and, just going along the way and being mindful of even that I didn't do certain things, to keep me, like I was before. I was doing other things, and getting back into the regular routines. I just have been doing little bits, to see what fits right now in my life, and maybe it's not the, this morning I went for a walk at like 7 a.m. with a friend that was passing through. I was like, is this, when they texted 7 a.m., I was like, is this a mistake? You need 7 p.m. or like at 9 maybe or something? And
That's be a mistake. It's too early.
like, no. I said, no, I'm in, I'll be there. And it was really great, to get out and do it. It was like a 2-hour walk. So I know I'm going to feel it tomorrow because I was going up and down and around. And, but, just knowing that we have to change things up, right? When we're doing too much of the same thing, even our good rituals need to change a little bit, and I think that's what where we're, we need to be in this world right now is just be adaptable, and be ready to shift and change. So, I just wanted to tell you guys, I pulled the card. I pulled a card. I pulled from actually, this is the card deck, of course, I was, going to pull from. And so storytelling came out, but at the exact same time, 7 generations fell out on the floor. So both of those cards. And so just remembering, this is what I love about Ash's work is, she doesn't have a lot of words. They're just really intentional words, right? About, I truly love her work, and I hope one day she'll join us in this circle. So get on that, Angela.
Okay.
I've been chatting with her, so I do have an interview with her for what we're doing, a Reconciling Humanity interview. So that's next week on the 21st. Yeah, so I'm excited to meet her. So storytelling is connection. Traditionally, winter was when we told our stories. Wisdom was passed down from one generation to the next during these times, and many of our teachings were passed down orally. This medicine card comes forward today to remind you of the potent stories your family history holds. In these stories, there are medicine ways, teachings of your lineage, and traditional knowledge that is waiting to be uncovered. This medicine card asks you to do some familial,
Familial.
thank you, research at this time. Sit with an elder in your family and ask them to tell you their favorite stories. If this is not accessible to you, ask for the information to come through your dreams, visions, inner knowing. Amazing, right?
That's so connected to your what you said, Pamela, about
Right?
your ancestors.
Yeah.
And when we're here
Cool.
telling our stories to each other, right? We are each other's family.
Yeah. Write down what you discover. Think about favorite stories of your childhood, stories told you by your loved ones, all the teachings passed down to you about your heritage. If you don't have these cards, whoever's watching, you should buy them. And her book. She's amazing. I love it. There's gold waiting to be mined there, and you are being welcomed forward as a wisdom keeper of family knowledge and tradition. Storytelling is a way to remember who we truly are, and this card is calling you home to your most authentic self. And so true. And the work that Lisa and I do in the city with the City of Toronto dentist offices, sitting in those circles, that's what we ask them. We ask them about, when we introduce ourselves, we say so much about who we are. We tell them about our children and where we come from, and then we ask them, and they get stumped sometimes. They're like, oh, I kind of know, or I don't know, and you just when they tell their story, they light up. Their energy shifts. Right? The energy of knowing who you are and where you come from is so relevant. And, Senator Murray Sinclair says that, know who you are, where you come from, where you want to go. So in 7 generations, every thought, it's legacy. Every thought, kind word, and international or intentional action has an impact 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. You are to be commended for your dedication to creating a healed way. Spirit witnesses you walking gently upon this earth, respecting your kin and all of creation. This card is calling you to be a good ancestor, inviting you to reflect on the legacy you're leaving behind. What values are you currently aligned with, and where can you refine them even more to walk a path of integrity? If you have descendants, infuse them with love, truth, honesty, respect, humility, bravery, and wisdom. These are the 7 grandfather teachings, and we do our very best to build a sacred relationship with them. If you don't have direct descendants, see that walking in this way will still lead you to the path of a good ancestor. For your care for the plants, the animals, the trees, the water, the rocks have great impact. With every step, your actions create ripples. Your loving presence matters. Right? Healing affirmation for that. I attend to the values I wish to walk into this world so that the past heals and a beautiful and sacred future is planted. I'm going to put that on my Facebook page. Ash Frost for being great. Our generation of women who are stepping up and taking space and place to inspire healing is amazing. Us included. And this is there's some messages here in the chat. We can look at these before. It's Jen Begin. I don't know who she is. I'm just kidding. I did send out there, Pam, that people were asking for your book. So I just gave them the link that Grandmother's Voice has on our website to get in touch with you.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't forget to let people know about the
True.
market.
Yeah. So I was going to let Jen do her song and then we can finish with that, or you want to do the other way around?
I don't know. Maybe we should mention
Say
that
it
first, and
Okay.
and then Jen can close the song.
Okay. So yeah. So we have an event in Oakville on Saturday, November 25th. And I'm really excited about this event. It's a beautiful relationship that we've built. We've grown with St. Paul's United Church in Oakville. Such a beautiful congregation, community space. We've been doing ceremony there. We have a key. We have a key. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but so they've been talking with us about supporting us, like with Grandmother's Voice and a few other community groups and community to look at what it means to be in relationship and through truth and reconciliation, and how can we create a community together that is, like, I guess, decentering, if that's the word, like the word, the church or whatever, that in, and really looking at what it would look like to do a land-based, like, community place, and what, so we've just all kind of gone all in, like, yeah, let's utilize the space and bring community together. And so, yeah, we're excited to be there. And hopefully you can stop by. Angela will have her beautiful candles. And we have a couple of other vendors that will be there on our side. And Grandma, I don't know if she wants me to call her Grandma. Sorry, Nancy. Nancy, she's going to be coming to cook. And then the market that they have, the church has, is like, come on, like a great Christmas kind of holiday market. So I'm excited to see what they have on their side, and baked goods and all that other good stuff. And so it's time to come together and just do some good love. Good love again, because I really, before we jumped on tonight, we talked a lot about how we were reaching out to our friends, and that we haven't seen in a while, or like we just get so busy. And that's what this time of year is about, right? Like reconnecting. And yeah. Oh, good. Girl, Isabel's saying can't wait. So we'll see you then. You need to jump on here too and say hi with us. Right? The circle is here, and we know life gets busy. So these, jumping in and watching, and we feel your energy. So Jen, what are you going to sing?
Well, I was thinking, since you pulled the 7 grandfathers card, I would sing the 7 grandfathers song. This is a song that the women's voices of Attawapiskat, that's how I know it, and Marie Gaudette. This song is sung 7 times. Don't worry, it's pretty short. But 7 times to honor each of those 7 grandfather teachings. So yeah, that's what I thought I'd sing. Way, way high, way, oh, way, way, way high, way, oh, way, way, way high, way, oh, way, way high, way, oh, way, way And also we're doing our full moon on
Woo.
November 27th, correct? At
Yep.
7-ish at St.
Yes.
Paul's.
It's at St. Paul's too. Yeah. Yay, yay.
It's always
Hi,
a beautiful
Deb.
room.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear the fireworks?
What's that
Behind you?
for?
Diwali.
Oh, okay.
They're supposed to be, I thought there is a ban on them, I think, in some places. Maybe not here. Wow. That's loud.
That's, you know what, we needed to hear that.
Festival of Lights.
So yeah, it's a celebration.
Beautiful.
All right.